What's up, everybody? It's your buddy Ryan here to talk about nootropics. I want to talk about ALCAR versus Racetams and when to use the both of them, because we got a question from a programmer who was like, I took ALCAR, I like it. I took some Racetams, I like those. Based on what I do, which one should I take? And the answer to that question depends on how sustainably you want to take whether ALCAR or Racetams, the nootropic in question. It depends on how long you want to sit down and work on your stuff. Depends on what time you want to sit down and work on your stuff. And in this guy's case, in programming, it depends on what you want to do. So programming, is very different than waking up in the morning, having some coffee, and just needing to tackle your to-do list. Programming is intense working memory and all this sort of stuff. So I kind of want to break down ALCAR versus Racetams in situations where either ALCAR or Racetams make sense, talk about some cycling with the both of them, and just give you guys some useful information. Let's do a minute and a half of Product Pro, because we got right now, the Cortex stack, as you saw in the beginning of this video, is on sale for $27 using the coupon code 27. Hey, get up on Cortex at livecortex.com. Powerful pre-brain nootropic stack really turns the lights on. We made it for entrepreneurs to turn on brain function. Everybody else seems to respond very positively to it because it is strong. All of our digital guides are also on sale using the same coupon code, okay? The coupon code is 27. It takes $7.99 off of everything. So that's the beginner's guide to aniracetam. Powerful aniracetam stacks teach you how to use aniracetam. That's the nootropic stack for the business professional. 100 nootropic stacks for business productivity. That is the Noopept Pro Stack List, the most advanced guide on the planet for Noopept and Noopept nootropic stacks. The Racetam Guide, easily the most advanced guide on the planet for Racetam stacks exclusively. And then Smarter, Better, Faster, which is our digital guide that is, if you're new to nootropics, that's the guide to read, teach you everything. Okay, so coupon code 27 gets you $7.99 off of everything. That lasts until freaking the first of the new year, okay, New Year's Day. So look, the question came from a programmer who's like very intense, sits and programs essentially all day. Like that's what he does. He's a coder. And, he goes, yeah, look, I've been taking ALCAR. It's been pretty significant. I take certain racetams, coliracetam, phenylpiracetam, oxiracetam, aniracetam. I like them. I get varying degrees of productivity with each of them in programming. What do you suggest that I take for programming? The answer for and that prompted me to do this video to talk about all the different benefits and what you could use each one of these nootropics for. The answer for programming is definitely Racetams. It's definitely Racetams. I know a lot of folks might think like modafinil is the answer for that, and it could be for some people. It really all depends, but mostly because of the kind of working memory specifically. And then having to toggle between, okay, so like you've got this block of code that you're working on over here that you're trying to figure out some degree of functionality on, but you've got to reference another block of code somewhere else, like to improve some other degree of functionality. And when you're working like on, I don't know, for those of you that don't understand programming, just bear with me, but things like Ruby on Rails, where there's just controllers and like all these other elements of building an application, as an example, there's so much toggling between, basically different files that you're, writing code on that, it's insane. And there's so much just like interconnectivity between those files that one has to constantly do. And the working memory part of it is pretty significant. So that's why I suggest Racetams for that. Probably the best Racetams for programming would be pramiracetam, oxiracetam, and aniracetam. Okay, and I say that because phenylpiracetam is strong, but it's in my anecdotal and a lot of others, it's not quite as good at inducing working memory like aniracetam, oxiracetam, pramiracetam are. ALCAR is one of the most useful nootropics. In fact, I've added it into my daily nootropic stack recently, again, just as an experiment to see like how well it's going to stack with phenylalanine, tyrosine, inositol, all the B vitamins, and all the amino acids, which is like my daily staple stack, and it stacks incredibly well with all that stuff. And because I like the energy, and that ALCAR is just a wonderful pick you up nootropic for the morning. Drink some coffee, go to town, do your to-do list. It's awesome, right? ALCAR in 300 to 500 milligrams is a great nootropic stack to take or compound to take when you're going out to consume alcohol. It reverses oxidation, oxidative damage on neurons in the presence of alcohol. Does this demonstratively in mice. Pretty awesome. Acetyl-L-carnitine, it does that. So there's that. It increases the expression of nerve growth factor right? Pretty important thing. Partially converts to acetylcholine in mild form via donating an enzyme to the process of the production of acetylcholine. That's a pretty, powerful, focused, stimulatory, excitatory neurotransmitter right there. And so it's good for energy, brain energy. It's good for turning on just all around a heightened cognitive state, mostly in terms of energy, and just like getting yourself in a place to do work. It's like the caffeine of nootropics. That's what I would really call ALCAR. Improves mitochondrial energy in the brain by helping the brain to use fatty acids as a fuel substrate along with glucose. It's just powerful and versatile. Stacks well with racetams, stacks well with other cholinergics, right? Totally good standalone, but stacks well with other things. So it all really depends on what you're talking about. Cycling, okay, if you're wanting to take a nootropic compound, like we talked about the example of programming, would be better with racetams, and then getting up in the morning and just hitting your to-do list, probably do better with ALCAR. But if you want to be taking a nootropic for 3 months, let's say, and you kind of just don't want to try a bunch of stacks, you just want something you want to stick with, ALCAR is more sustainable in terms of less cycling, in my opinion, than racetams. I believe, and it's been my anecdotal experience, that not cycling racetams ends up in side effects a lot quicker. In fact, I've really never run into side effects with taking ALCAR, except for in excess of 1,000 milligrams, it basically gives me a little bit of anxiety. And so, ALCAR is just something you can cycle less. There's people that take ALCAR every day for considerable periods of time. Ray Kurzweil, I believe, is one of them. It's either L-carnitine or actual ALCAR. That's part of his daily stack. Dude takes like 100 or 200 supplements every day. He's like 60 something in great health. Looks like he's 45, frankly. I mean, Ray Kurzweil, futurist and top Google person. And so ALCAR is something that you could cycle a lot less, as far as I can tell. So you just have to look at what exactly you want to do. Let's see, another good example. Let me just give one more example for the both of them. Social situations. Social situations for ALCAR. ALCAR is pretty good for social situations. Turns the brain on, induces verbal fluency, will give you mental energy. One of the things I couple it with, this idea of it preserving the brain in the presence of alcohol, is I take ALCAR, 300 to 500 milligrams, an hour before consuming a few drinks, and my brain not only works better while I'm out, but like my sociability is better. I'm not sure what the mechanism is for that, but like maybe alcohol and ALCAR together just like really makes the brain function well in a social capacity. But no question, by itself, it is pretty powerful for verbal fluency. Like if on the other hand though, like if I took racetams, oxiracetam, just as an example, I don't know that I'd really want to be all that social. I'd want to sit down in a business meeting and talk about some business metrics. You get it? Like using nootropics specifically for certain situations. And that's a good example. We'll end on this last example with racetams. I talk about it all the time. Aniracetam is such a good nootropic compound and a great racetam for long meetings in which there's just a lot of stuff to talk about. And there's a lot of details within the major overarching points that need to be discussed in the business meeting, or anything that you do in life that's got like an overarching thing and then a bunch of different details within that thing, and you've got like 4 or 5 of those major overarching things. So it's all about using nootropics specifically. That's my take on ALCAR versus racetams. You have to think about how long you want to take it, whether or not you want to cycle it. If you're going to be sitting in acute situations where memory particularly is necessary, or if you just need energy to go, you just need to get into gear, let that and my examples be the determinants on whether or not you use ALCAR or racetams. Thanks for watching. Hey, 27, coupon code 27 gets you $7.99 off everything at the Cortex Labs website. We'll lay out all the digital guides and our powerful nootropic stack Cortex at the end of this video here in a segundo. Thanks for watching. What's up, everybody? Ryan Michael Balla here. Hey, thanks for watching the video. Look, we've got, as it stands, 5 primary products that I want to just explain to you. You heard us mention them during the video, so I'm going to break them down. Number 1, from left to right, the Cortex Nootropic Stack. This is a cognitive enhancement stack that you really want to take to turn the lights on. Just to give you an idea, hardcore business folks that require 18 to 20 hours of brain function, take the Cortex Stack. That's what we initially designed it for, but then like everybody in the nootropic sphere loved it. Verbal fluency, speed of processing, motivation, drive to want to work. That's what the Cortex Stack does. Moving right along, the aniracetam guide there, that is called the Beginner's Guide to Aniracetam, breaks down 25 powerful aniracetam stacks, shows you how to use aniracetam. It's essentially the everything guide to aniracetam. Long demanded, folks asked us for it, we delivered. It is fully digital, lots of powerful stacks. And then there's the nootropic stacks for the business professional. That's basically 100, right around 100 powerful uridine, modafinil, theacrine, aniracetam, oxiracetam, phenylpiracetam, ALCAR stacks for business situations, for the type of brain states that business folks need for sustained performance. Next is the Racetam God Guide. That is a high-level every Racetam guide, digital guide. We've got all the major Racetams with accompanying focus stacks and memory stacks and speed of processing stacks. In that Racetam. There's 8 major nootropic Racetams, and that guide explains all of them and accompanying stacks. Then there's the NuPep Pro Stack List. The NuPep Pro Stack List is a digital guide that explains oral, so just taking it by mouth, sublingual, taking it under the tongue, and then intranasal, spraying NuPep nasal spray in your nose, stacks. It's just a bunch of stacks, a giant stack list of NuPep stacks that are highly effective, pro-level, specific brain state inducing type of NuPep stacks. That thing has been a hit out there with the market. And then last, there's Smarter, Better, Faster. Smarter, Better, Faster is the all-around, everything nootropics digital guide. If you just want to learn everything, many Racetams, modafinil, etc., get Smarter, Better, Faster. It's like the guide you need to know if you're new to nootropics, to learn basically everything and to walk away knowing what you need to know on nootropics. Thanks so much for listening. Thanks so much for watching. Get this stuff at livecortex.com and rock on.